Hello everyone, DJ Aiden here, and today I'm here to make my last security breach / ruin theory until the DLC comes out on July 25th. And you can bet your butt that I'm gonna go out with a bang before I take a tiny little hiatus so I can play the Ruin DLC. Enough of me blabbering on about some stuff, and let's get into the theory. Let's go back to the old times. Let's go back to the era of FNaF 3. When you beat all the arcade games by giving all the lost spirits their cake, you unlock Happiest Day. In Happiest Day, you play as the puppet, and as you roam around the small little building, you see a child who doesn't have cake, a child whose birthday isn't being celebrated, but we can change that. As we walk near them, we give them cake, and everyone can finally rest, and all of the balloons float away. You may be wondering how any of this even connects to Security Breach and the potential story of the Ruin DLC. Let me explain. I think that Security Breach and the Ruin DLC are trying to set up another Happiest Day event. Let me give out all the evidence on why I think this is the case. In the release of Security Breach, players found a secret room from the theater, a room that contained a secret arcade machine. But in that room, it contained some more secrets than just the arcade machine. In the room, there was a Monty plushie sitting on a chair, and a Chica and a Moondrop plushie just laying down. And also a kid's drawing near the whole plush setup that says "My Fun Day," which is from the older FNaF game. Now, that's all fine and dandy until the patch of Security Breach came out, and something changed in the room. The plush setup. Some stuff were added. 2 chairs and a table were added in the patch, and barely anyone noticed it except for me. When I first saw that in the patch of Security Breach, I just thought to myself, okay, maybe I shouldn't really talk about it, make a huge fuss about it. It probably means nothing and they just added it. But why would they change the playset of all things? That's such a specific detail to toy around. It's not like any FNaF fan would have been like, you should add 2 chairs and a table, get your stuff right. They could have just left it where it was, but no, they changed the playset. And may I remind you that, from what I could tell, that was the only thing in that room that was changed, just the playset. When comparing these two, they're kind of similar in a way. Now, of course, the playset doesn't have a whole cake, but there's a drawing of a cake quite literally near it, so I think it's trying to connect the Happiest Day. If you think I don't have any more evidence, oh my friend, you are in for a ride, because I got more evidence than just that. In the message bag that's near the Balloon World arcade, we are told to glitch all the arcades, so the princess can recognize them. And you know what we do in FNaF 3? We glitch the arcades so that we can get the Happiest Day ending. It's also worth mentioning that in the Ruin DLC, from what we've seen so far before release, a lot of the places have secret arcades near them. The daycare area has Balloon World. Fazer Blast has Princess Quest 3. Chica's Bakery has Chica's Feeding Frenzy. Now sure, Chica's Feeding Frenzy was never used, but it was going to be an arcade at some point, and I think that they may bring it back. The hair salon that's near Roxy's Raceway has Princess Quest 1. Monty's Gator Golf has, well, Montgomery's Gator Golf Course, of course. And I bet that in the Ruin DLC, there's going to be more places that have more arcades than just the stuff I listed. Now, all that sounds great and all, but we do gotta wonder, what is Happiest Day for? I do have a couple of options on what Happiest Day could be for, so let's find out. Let's start off with the simple option, the Glamrock animatronics. There is one major flaw with this idea though. A lot of the Glamrocks, they're not really possessed, or at least from we see. Now Glamrock Freddy, he may be possessed, but if he's not possessed, then he's very sentient compared to the rest. There's nothing really else I can say about this idea, but I guess it would work if Ruin reveals that the Glamrocks are possessed, but I don't know, I don't think the Glamrocks are possessed personally. Now here's the little bit more complicated option, the Blob. Now I say it's kinda complicated because we kinda have no clue who the hell this thing is. I mean, is it Souls of the Damned or something? Is it some AI? Is it Agony? A remnant cow? Hell if I know, man. I personally think that the Blob is possessed because, well, for one, it's breathing in, it's breathing out. It's not like it's doing it in a robotic way. It's doing it in some, like, natural human way. Like a human would once do before it turned into a huge-ass scrap heap. It's worth mentioning that the Blob only attacks you when you're not inside Freddy. But when you're inside Freddy, it just does nothing to you. It just hangs out. It's as if that it's paranormal and it doesn't really care about the robots except for the people that are in their way, like Burntrap and Gregory. Now, like I said, it's not all set in stone on who the Blob is, so we're just gonna have to hope that Ruin just tells us who the Blob is. Please, Steel or Scott, I'm on my knees. Now for the third option, what I feel like could be most likely, Gregory and Vanessa. Now, the Gregory idea, I must admit, is pretty wonky, but hear me out. So what if Gregory's mind or soul is still under Glitchtrap's control, and we have to free him by playing arcades and give him his happiest day? And there's just a problem. How would that work? I mean, we don't really know the rules of happiest day, so would his mind be free and he just be back to his normal human self? Or just would he just go to heaven? We don't know the rules of happiest day, or maybe we do, correct me if I'm wrong. Now the Vanessa idea, on the other hand, I feel a bit more confident on that, because it just feels more satisfying story-wise, and it just feels more right. Or maybe it's just because I'm a huge Vanessa fan. That could be that. For Vanessa, we'd probably be playing the Princess Quest trilogy. If not the Princess Quest trilogy, then literally all the arcades or just something else, and we give her her happiest day. But as satisfying that sounds, she still suffers the Gregory problem. How would she exactly be free? Would her spirit be free and she go to heaven? Would she just be back to normal? We are now left with two candidates, the Blob or Vanessa and Gregory. Now, if I'm going to be hopeful and be like, oh, I want this to happen, it's going to be Vanessa and Gregory. I have a bias towards that idea because I feel like it would help flesh out their characters more. But the Blob is going to be most realistic. Now, I don't hate the Blob. In fact, I like its design. I just feel like I'd prefer, the setting Vanessa and Gregory free idea more. But Blob is going to be the most likely if this theory is true. Now, to be completely fair, for all we know, it could be all of the above. And to be honest, I wouldn't be complaining if it's all of the above. I wouldn't mind at all. Alright, we talked about the theory itself. Now, let's mix it all together and see what we get. FNaF Security Breach gives us a hint that there's potentially hope for everyone who's under the Glitchtrap control, and that potentially we can give them their happiest day. In the Ruin DLC, we play as a girl named Cassie. As we keep roaming around, we figure out that there's some secret arcade games that can help us set everything right. Once we play the last arcade game, we see that the spirits of the Blob finally gets their happiest day, and everything is set right, and we ruin Glitchtrap's plan. Well, if you're hearing this, then congrats, you have made it to the end of the video. If you want to click off and not hear my updates about my channel, that's okay. But please like and subscribe, that will really help me out. And if you do, I appreciate it. If you're still here, well, let's go ahead and talk about the future of my channel, shall we? You've probably noticed that my upload count is kinda getting slower now. And for July, that's because, well, Ruin is releasing and I don't want to over spam content just in case I want to talk about Ruin a lot in like the end of July. But also, some of this is because I've been a bit busy, to be honest. I thought that I would be able to entertain y'all a lot, but I feel like I've been doing a crappy job at that. I know y'all will forgive me, but I feel like I let y'all down, man. I feel like I could have done better. Though I do feel crappy for just kind of leaving y'all in the dust throughout the summer. It just has to be done because I've been busy this summer with some family stuff and just a lot of stuff. So I hope y'all can forgive me for that one. Now that we got the all sad and mopey news out of the way, let's just go to the good news. I'm starting to really consider upgrading my channel. When I say upgrade my channel, I mean a lot of things you'll have to see in the future. And once Ruin releases, I should be more active and just upload more videos because I'm 99% sure that DLC is going to have some cool stuff in store. So that'll definitely help me upload some more content, whether it's short content or long content. But you can be for sure that I'm going to make a review of Ruin once I complete it. And the upcoming months of 2023 should be very exciting because, well, we got Help Wanted 2 coming out, FNaF movie coming out, and hell, there may be some game announcement after Help Wanted 2 or just, I don't know, anything can happen in these months. But that's all when it comes to updates, so this has been DJ Aiden, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.